Well, hello and welcome to another broadcast of Mickey's Earbuds. I'm Justin.
And I'm still David.
You're, wow, you're still David. Okay. Well, that's
Last I
always good to
checked.
hear. That is good to hear. So, we got an exciting episode for you today. We got three segments here. First one we're going to start with is Tale as Old as Trivia. Then we're going to talk about Walt Disney World golf. And then we're going to wrap it up with Pass the Parlay. So, Tale as Old as Trivia, kind of a new segment for us, just to give you a little bit of a background so you know what's going on. In this case, I'm asking the questions. There are 5 questions. Each of them falls into a different category. The first one is animation. The second one is film, so anything live action that Disney may have put out. Third one is song. The fourth one is people. And the last one is parks. So those are the categories of the questions. They don't get progressively harder or easier or anything like that. No particular order there. But I'm going to ask David these questions one at a time. He's going to have 30 seconds to give the correct answer each time. Yes, I have a countdown clock. So we will
It'll be like in
see.
1948. What film did Disney direct? That was. I'm gonna be like, I have no idea.
I don't know if he directed anything there. He might have. He probably produced one. I'm sure. But, no, actually, I think you're gonna be okay with at least 3 of these questions. So we will see how you do. Are you ready?
Maybe.
Well, ready or not, here we go. Tale as Old as Trivia. So the first question from animation. Where does Peter Pan take the darling children?
Oh. Wow. Neverland.
Correct.
Wow, we're doing sound effects?
Did you like that one? You didn't expect that?
No, I didn't expect that.
Okay. All right. Question number 2 from film. So this is anything live action. This one I think you're going to have a tough one with. In Disney's Summer Magic, what autumn holiday does Osh Popham say is Mrs. Hamilton's birthday?
I have no idea. What holiday is her birthday? Easter? That's my guess.
Okay, you clearly didn't catch the clue that it was an autumn holiday. Autumn holiday. So that's incorrect. It is not Easter, it was Halloween.
Oh.
By the way, if you've not seen Summer Magic, it's actually a very fun movie. I highly recommend it. It graces my DVD shelf.
I need to pick that up on Disney Plus, I guess.
Yeah. I will say the ending is a little bit awkward. It's almost though somebody like took the scissors to the film and went snip and it just kind of ends. But other than that, it's a really neat story. It's cute, it's fun, it's funny in places. It's enjoyable. All right, third question from the song category. In the Mary Poppins song Feed the Birds, how much does it cost to feed the birds?
Oh, there's the music. I was waiting for it.
How much does it cost?
I remember it's a 2p or a tuppence.
That is correct. Tuppence a bag. All right. In this one is people. So famous Disney people or Disney related people. In 1984, so you gotta go way back to before you and I were born, who became chairman of the board of Walt Disney Productions?
Oh boy. I don't know. Was it Eisner?
It was indeed Michael Eisner. Good work. And
sure.
Yeah, and the last one from the parks. After Disneyland opened, so we're in California now. Disneyland opened in 1955. What was the first new land to be added to the park? You have multiple choice on this one.
Okay.
Was it Liberty Square, Bear Country, or New Orleans Square?
I'm going to go with Bear Country.
That's incorrect. It was New Orleans Square.
Really? I would have thought that was original.
Nope, it was not original. Yeah, I remember seeing actually the episode of The Wonderful World of Disney, and where they introduced New Orleans Square along with the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know what? 3 out of 5 ain't bad. Yep. All right.
Is that? Is that enough to pass a driving test?
You know, I'm not really sure. It probably depends on what state you're in, but since you're in Florida, I'm going to go with yes.
You know, since I'm in Florida, it probably is yes. Like, can you turn the keys in the ignition? Yes. Here's your license. Do you know what the turn signal is?
Do you have your exit buddy?
That's about right. Here, wait. Then when one of my kids finally learns how to drive, I'm going to be like, why do you need to know all this?
All right. So that was Tale as Old as Trivia. Now on to our main segment. I believe, David, you've done some research into this fun new category, which neither of us have really ventured into or have a whole lot of experience with, and that is golfing at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, this is something that you and I are going to start doing a little bit here, is just investigating the deeper layers underneath, to see just a little bit more than food and resorts as our favorite areas, or our favorite go-tos. So
you're saying we're going to peel back the onion, open up the layers of the parfait of what is Walt Disney World to something deeper than just food? Okay.
I mean, sure, let's just use the food analogy there. I don't know if I'd want to compare Disney to an onion, though onions are one of my favorite vegetables. So golf, Walt Disney World golfing is, well, it's one of the big things they actually do there. There are combined 4 different golf courses. Justin, did you know that?
Yes, I did know that. I did a little bit of research myself on this. There used to be 5, but now there's 4.
Yeah, there's the Palm, there's the Magnolia, the Lake Buena Vista, and the Disney Oak Trail. Now, the Oak Trail is only a 9-hole. The other 3 are full 18-hole golf courses. They are managed. Now, did you know this? They're managed by the Arnold Palmer Association of Golf Courses.
Did know that, actually. I was kind of excited to see that a little bit. Yes, the Arnold Palmer, the creator of the drink, also known as half and half, or half tea, half lemonade. Yep.
Yeah, that was when I found that out, I was like, that's very surprised. But apparently they manage a couple thousand golf courses across the country. So Disney, being who they are, uses the best. And so while everyone who works there is indeed a Disney cast member, they're trained and they manage the Arnold Palmer way, which I thought was really neat. Now, the Palm, the Magnolia, and Oak the Palm and the Magnolia are within the range of the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian. You can see them from there. And if you even want to be more specific, they are right next to shades of green in the case of the Magnolia and the Palm.
Yes.
They are full 18-hole courses. And I guess I don't know if you found this in your research, they're famous for water hazards. Like, that's the big thing.
Actually, I think pretty much all of their golf courses are famous for water hazards, or maybe infamous if you're the type of golfer that I am.
Oh, are you buying the biodegradable balls then?
I really ought to, because I cannot tell you how many times on a golf course, not at Disney, I don't have any experience golfing there, but I can't tell you how many times on a golf course I have gone swimming.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Lake Buena Vista Golf Course is near the Disney Springs Resort area.
Yeah, Disney Springs, that's also where you're going to find Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa and Disney's Old Key West are out there. Yep.
Yeah, and so you'll see actually to get to Saratoga Springs, you drive through the golf course, and it's on both sides. I would say back there it's very quiet. In fact,
Yeah.
all three that would probably be the loudest of the four because it's so close to Disney Springs, and it's still really quiet.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
go ahead.
if I might toss in here, as a matter of fact, if you get a room at some of your rooms at Saratoga Springs, many of your rooms at Old Key West, I can tell you from personal experience, you step out onto your private balcony and you potentially have a view of the Lake Buena Vista golf course. And yes, it is extremely quiet out there.
Yeah, you can. When I was doing some research, Justin, I actually watched a few videos, and I guess on the 9-hole course, the Oak Trail Golf Course.
Yeah.
It's an Audubon International Cooperative Wildlife Sanctuary, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And they were showing these people that were out there that were playing just the half game, and we'll talk about why they have half games and so on. They ran into like flocks of turkey out there.
Yeah.
I know when we would drive around, you'd see the Disney deer.
Mm-hmm.
Now the turkey are the biggest turkey that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Those Disney turkey, they know they're safe, and they grow big as a result.
They eat well, yes.
They do eat very well. I don't know what they're eating, but they eat very well.
They're probably not even have to worry about a presidential pardon at Thanksgiving either.
Oh, that's for sure. Well, don't those turkeys go to Disney?
It wouldn't surprise me to find out that
I thought all the presidential turkeys went to Disney World.
I personally wouldn't know.
So yeah, that's the courses. Like the 9-hole is a walking course only. That's the Oak Trail. That's again, it's an Audubon certified. They want to minimize as much interaction with that. The other two are golf cart rental available.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really neat, I don't know if you saw this, is the pricing is really not bad at all.
No, at least not at present. I mean, I don't know what it was before the pandemic and everything, but right now it's like, wow, yeah, I'd pay to golf on that for that price.
Now, it does look like they used to offer, and I'm trying to find the exact pricing guide here, but it looks like they used to offer difference for people staying on property versus those who are just coming in for a day pass.
Yeah, as well as pass holders, Florida residents, Disney Vacation Club members. Yeah, it looks like they used to offer a price differential there, and it doesn't seem that they are doing that right now.
As of August 2020, given the odd situation we're in at the current moment, it seems to be they've just leveled off all their pricing. And if I know anything about golfing in Florida, period, summer is always cheaper than it is during the wintertime. You have a lot more people coming down here during the winter. Golfing is even better because it's not so blaringly hot. And so right now to play a day guest, which means you're not going to the parks, you're just coming in to golf, it's $49 a person. And tee-offs start from 7 o'clock in the morning until about 12:30 in the afternoon. And that's pretty standard for a lot of that. You want to get your golf in a little earlier. That's not unusual. Justin, what did you find when you're looking up?
Not much, but just adding on just golfing in general, especially if you're planning on doing a full 18 holes, those early tee times are the most popular.
So they're going to go fast, and you can reserve ahead of time, which I found out.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because I thought I saw 90 days ahead of time was what I read.
Yeah, it looked like they used to have things special for people staying on property and then special for people who are Florida state residents or pass holders or DVC. So like Justin says, since he's DVC, he would have access to, and since they've in the past have access to early booking as a result. And if me as a Florida State resident, and not at the moment, I'm not a pass holder, I let my pass expire. But when I was a pass holder, I would have had also early booking ability as well. But it doesn't look like that they take so much, that there's a lot of filling up. Of course, you never want to sit on it. I wouldn't wait till like the day before. But it looks easy enough to book. I'm literally on the website right now, just checking it out. You can book online ahead of time.
Yeah. Now, I have heard, and I'm pretty sure it's true, I have heard from people more in the know than me who have actually golfed at Disney World multiple times, that say you're a person who flew in from who knows where, you're on vacation there, and you're like, well, I'd kind of like to go golfing, but I didn't bring any of my stuff with me. Well, good news. They'll rent you a set of clubs, shoes, whatever it is that you need to hit the links, as they say.
Yeah, and actually the pricing, again, I can't find it now that I'm talking about it. The pricing did not look too bad on rental equipment. Like, you have to rent shoes. You're not allowed to wear certain types of shoes on there.
Yeah.
Looking at the rental rates for clubs, it's $45 an hour playthrough. $45 for a session. Given what I've seen in the past golfing elsewhere in Florida, and then given that this is Disney, that seems pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you have to also either have your own special golfing shoes, or you can rent your shoes, and they are at $10 of shoe rental.
Yes.
I kind of grossed out by renting shoes, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's like going to the bowling. Like, what did you just spray the mystery spray in there?
Yeah, I bought my own shoes, and you know what? It's totally okay, because for the 2 points, the money I'm saving on renting shoes, that helps. But the other thing is, for the price you're paying for shoes you're going to wear specifically for golfing or bowling, as you brought up, those shoes are going to last quite a while before you need to replace them.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you were just golfing one time only, maybe it'd be worth it. I mean, that's just between you and your family there, if you're going to rent the shoes. But what's neat about that as well, to us talking about rentals, is they do have a pro golf shop.
Yes.
Where it's all PGA style, and they have all these, but everything is definitely logoed out. You can get every golf Disney thing you can imagine. Yeah. You could buy the balls that you like. You can get your themed everything. I think they even sell special pins there, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I'm looking at now. They look like they're Titleist bags. I was going to say Titleist if you ever saw that movie. They're tailor-made, but they're Disney-themed tailor-made bags. So you can do that. They sell special Disney Callaway clubs. So that's pretty cool, but you're going to pay an upcharge for the mouse, of course.
Oh, but yeah.
They have all that.
Everything's better with ears. Everything's also more expensive with ears. It's just a fact of life.
Now, I was listening to a person who said that after they finished playing through, they actually took the guests' clubs and washed them for him.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
That's a cool... Now, now you've been golfing more than I have. Is that something that you've experienced at other golf courses?
Not every golf course. It's not necessarily extremely commonplace, but there are plenty of places that will do that. Now, on the side, they also will expect a tip for washing your clubs.
Oh, yeah.
But the service in and of itself is complimentary, yes. I have seen that. And usually you find services like that at golf courses that are charging you probably $80 a head in greens fees, but that's what I would say is the norm for those.
I mean, I could see that. So that makes sense to me. There is but that might be the difference of the Disney and Arnold. I always say this word that his name's wrong. The Arnold Palmer difference, where they're doing these extra things. Now you might know this better than I do, Justin. There's a lot of things you have to do to go golfing. There's a lot of unspoken rules. There's a dress code.
There is a dress code. Very important.
That is expected at Disney Golf.
There's a lot of etiquette that is not just plainly written down. You kind of need to know it before you go in.
And
Yeah.
Disney maintains all of that.
Yes.
Which
There
I
are
actually
some,
like that.
yeah. There are some golf courses, and it wouldn't surprise me to find out that Disney is this way. Like if you're renting a golf cart, some golf courses don't really care about things in terms of where you drive your golf cart to get to your ball out on the fairway, but other golf courses are very specific that if they will even allow you to drive the golf cart onto the fairway, they insist that you go perpendicular out onto the fairway to where your golf ball is, because if you go straight up the fairway, you could potentially ruin somebody's fair bounce on the golf ball if it hits the fairway. Mine usually don't. I usually play from the rough, but there are rules like that in place, and every golf course is different, so you always have to check on those kinds of things.
Yeah, it looks to be with Disney that they have golf cart courses where they want you to stand this thing, and if you are going to go on the green, they do. From what I watched the videos, everyone seemed to be pulling to the side. Maybe that was just good manners.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Yep. And if you're on the putting green, another thing, this is something that whether or not they enforce it, it's just good common courtesy on a golf course. If you're on the putting green, especially wearing golf shoes, don't scuff your feet. Pick up your feet with every step. Otherwise, you could really ruin somebody's putt on the green, or just ruin the green, period, if you scuff your feet a lot. So you need to be conscious about how you're walking on that very finely cut putting green. There are other things and you mentioned dress code. Like for men, you're looking at something like, typically you'll find khaki slacks or khaki shorts. Either one is good. And a polo shirt. That seems to be the typical attire for men golfing. For women, it's usually, again, a polo shirt, but it could be mixing up the khaki pants, shorts things with skirts or skirts. But yeah, those kinds of things.
Yeah, and it's just to fit in to do that. You can rent the golf carts. Speaking of which, they all come with a GPS. They actually monitor where you are, and they even have a timer that tells you when you're playing too slow, because there's a lot of people on vacation. They kind of have a pace they want to keep. Yep. It's not, I don't know, maybe to some golfer they might feel rushed, but at the same time, there is a few people behind you. So
yeah,
they let you know when you're a few minutes behind on a hole than as you should be.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was really neat that they did that.
Yeah. Usually there's a maximum stroke penalty. And I think on a lot of the golf courses I've been on, the maximum stroke you can have on any given hole is whatever double par is. Of course, I would have to know that because I frequently double par.
Let's just call this one off. That one didn't happen.
Yeah. And while it may be frowned upon, I will say that sometimes the Happy Gilmore swing is quite effective.
Running and whacking.
Yeah.
Bam.
Just running up to the tee and whacking the ball.
You whiff it, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Don't do that.
But you can also pay for instructors. They have stuff for kids, and They have PGA guys on there. That's not as cheap, but they do have golf clinics. I'm looking at one for children.
Yeah.
Right now, that's an hour and a half. It's $250 for kids.
Yep. They have driving ranges.
Yep, they do have a couple They have 2 driving ranges. The last I saw, maybe I might be under there, but last I saw, there's one at the Magnolia and one at the Palm.
Yeah, and I believe the Lake Buena Vista golf course is the one where they've most frequently hosted PGA and LPGA golfers.
I didn't see that when I was looking up, but I wouldn't be surprised. It does. I saw pictures of Tiger Woods at the course when I was looking at it, so I'd imagine maybe he has Golf Disney for fun, but at the same time, I'd imagine he was there
Yeah.
for a rather more important
The
playthrough than not.
the Lake Buena Vista Golf Course is famous, or depending on your skills as a golfer, infamous for having a green that is surrounded completely by water except for the footbridge to get over to it. And to add insult to injury, surrounding that green on that island are, I think, 3 or 4 sand bunkers. So if you can manage to land your ball on that island green, great. Especially if you can avoid getting it into the sand bunkers as well. I mean, that's one of those holes that I would personally cringe every time I approached it. But knowing my stroke of luck, pun intended, I might actually land it right on the thing.
And by the way, speaking of hazards and so on, the water in Florida probably has gators.
Yeah.
Don't think that there aren't any in there. Just assume, if you're a person golfing, just assume they're in there. Do yourself a favor. Don't play games.
Yeah. Bring plenty of extra golf balls if you tend, like me, to get it into the water hazards frequently. Depending on where that golf ball is, whether it floats or sinks, doesn't matter. You might just want to count it as loss, cut your losses, and drop a ball, take the stroke penalty, and move on.
Yeah, that's we were playing golf, Elena and myself and her parents, about a year ago, and there was a sign on the side next to a water hazard that said, "Caution, gators and snakes lurking." And I was like, wow.
Lurk.
They're using the word
Lurk.
choice "lurk" was enough to make me go, let's not play near here. And well, it was a lot of fun. Just to, possible is one thing. Lurk says definite. Yeah. So yes, Florida, there are gators. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube. You can watch. PGA has their own official YouTube channel, because of course they do, and they'll show you every time a gator has been involved in a professional golf PGA tournament, and they're really funny. Usually you see like the caddies trying to get them off the green, and I keep thinking those guys ain't paid enough. Just another cool thing. They do have specials, and let me start from. I don't know. Did you see this, Justin?
I may have. I kind of brushed through the research personally.
Don't worry about that. I looked up a bit here. There is. Let me start from the one. If you're actually thinking about doing this, they have what's called the E-Club. Now, the E-Club is what it sounds like. I'm sure some of you got your favorite app to your favorite fast food place. Like today, I got a notification from Chipotle. So just like that, you get emails and so on. The E-Club lets you know specials that are happening in the golf area at the greater Orlando golf area. And so the Disney eGolf, they send you occasionally emails saying, hey, we're doing this deal, we're doing that deal. And you can save a lot of money. So for instance, when I was doing my research, one couple got a BOGO on a full playthrough of golf.
Wow.
They had to go at really, really early in the morning. So they were there before the sun rose. But you and the guy and his wife went. It's about $55 for a day pass. So suddenly, what would have been over to $100. Not only did it have a BOGO, it also included drinks and a breakfast sandwich, and then a post-game drink as well. Which for $55, and then if you have to rent clubs, it's another $10. Excuse me, I think we said it was more than that. That's not bad. You really can get away with that. I'm sure that you have to rent the golf carts. The golf carts seem to be a little bit more, but they're for the whole way through. But you're saving yourself quite a bit of money. And so the E-Club, that's out there if you're interested in that. That doesn't seem like it's free. I don't know. I guess it's free to sign up. And every now and then you'll be able to do that. Another special, which I thought was cool, kind of like that, but only half as much golf, is the Sunrise 9, where you play half game, really, really early, between 7 and 8:30 in the morning. I guess that's not that early. And again, same thing, breakfast sandwich, soft drink or beer of your choice, as
Way to
well
go.
as same thing at the after the fact soft drink or beer after the fact.
Yeah.
You imagine that's something we need to do. Go $35 for you and $30, $5 for me. We just go
Yeah.
play 9 holes, and then you get a breakfast sandwich, and then you get a soft drink at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to do that. We got to do like, especially the 9-hole one.
Yeah.
9 holes is nice for just, hey, we're just going to do this real quick. And even if you're not real quick, it's still pretty quick. So 9 holes, really good. Price tag's not bad, especially if there's a special involved, especially if that special involves food. Yeah, we went there again. It happens.
Well, Disney went there by offering the special.
Yeah, okay.
And just as like they have the Sunrise 9, they also have the Sunset 9. Same exact deal, but same exact deal, but in the afternoon, so later in the day, starting around 3 o'clock, and I think the last putt is around 7 is what I'm seeing here. So that's pretty good. You know what else? Thinking about putting, we'll have to do a whole thing about mini golfing at Disney.
Yeah, they have 2 of those as well.
I have never been mini golfing at Disney.
Neither have I.
And I know the one is a Christmas course.
Yes.
And I don't know what the other one is, but
Yeah, I think they have something like Fantasia Golf or something like that. I think it's out by the Swan and Dolphin. And then the other one is Winter Summerland, which is out by Blizzard Beach.
Yeah, so near the Swalfin and Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But yeah, so they have all these opportunities. And finally, the thing that Justin and I both researched together, the one that I actually really want to do as well, is called foot golf.
It's basically like take soccer and put it into golf. So you're, instead of trying to kick a goal, you're trying to kick it into a hole.
Now, foot golf, it's only 9 holes. It's also, again, not that expensive to do. But I'm looking at it. The foot golf courses measure 1,200 yards over par. So now the prices are different depending on the time of the year. So for summer, it's $15 for a day pass after 2:30, which is really good. And during the winter, it's I guess late summer, early fall, it's $22 a person. Why wouldn't you do this? You know?
Yeah.
$22 to play 9 holes.
Yeah.
And apparently it's certified by the American Foot Golf League. So you're not just, they didn't just throw something together. There are people out there who are professionals who said, yes, this is a legitimate foot golf course.
Yeah, this is not something that like was invented by Dude Perfect or something like that.
Those guys, though, I would love to see them do that there. I bet you they could get away with it if they wanted to. But yeah, so you have to wear appropriate non-offensive golf attire or athletic attire when playing, and denim jeans or shorts are not permitted.
Yes, that's part of the dress code.
And so yeah, it takes the game of golf and the game of soccer or football. I don't know if you'd be able to bring a football. Like, well, this is football, right? No, not that kind of football. And so that would be, now talk about having a good afternoon. I was watching this on a video about these people who were playing it, and as they were foot golfing, a golf cart came up that was the drinks cart.
Oh boy.
And so they just got a couple of sodas. So you're out there, you're playing, suddenly this comes up, you get a couple of soft drinks, or I saw another couple who were doing it, they got a bunch of waters, and just were able to cool off on the hot day whilst kicking soccer balls in very fancy garb.
Yeah, that is kind of a typical thing at most golf courses, if not all golf courses, where they have golf cart drop by with snacks and drinks and things like that. It's really nice to have that. I mean, it does, of course, cost extra. It's not complimentary or anything, but it's nice that there's something like that available.
Now, can you imagine, though, thinking of your family, unless maybe you're a golfing family, then in which case it's one thing. But I could see loads of kids loving something like foot golf.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times not foot golf, but golfing at Disney World in general, how many times I've probably stayed at Old Key West or Saratoga Springs and looked out over the balcony at the golf course and thought about just taking an afternoon or a morning and doing 9 holes or something like that. Incidentally, talking about golf etiquette again, apparently when you're standing there on your balcony and you see that golfer out there trying to sink a putt, apparently it's frowned upon to yell out, "In the hole!" when you see him try to sink the putt. Apparently you shouldn't be doing anything like that. It could get you in trouble.
Is it like having an air horn when golf was being played?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
That's one of the things I wish I had done in college was take the golfing gym class that they offered.
Oh, okay.
I did take the recreational shooting class. That was fun.
I took beginning bowling and adventure sports is what it was.
Which one was that one?
I think it was adventure sports, something like that. But it was basically like mountain biking and things like that.
Wow, I took a badminton. Oh. And that was sure badminton.
Wow.
I couldn't tell you a single rule of badminton now, other than a game that I used to like to play in the backyard. When learning all the rules, I suddenly learned I really don't like badminton. Meanwhile, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, we're getting off topic and we're running out of time, so we should probably start transitioning into our final segment.
Yeah, that's right. We have a Pass the Parlay today, where Justin and I do a formal debate on a silly topic. And today's debate is Finding Nemo versus...
that is The Seas with Nemo and Friends at Epcot. The Seas with
Nemo's and Friends and the Little Mermaid ride.
Voyage of the... No, not Voyage of the Little Mermaid. That's the show. Yeah, Under the Sea. That's what it's called. Under the Sea at the Magic Kingdom.
I will be taking Nemo and Friends. And Justin, you will be promoting Under the Sea with Little Mermaid.
Yes.
So yes. I'll, as with the regular debate, we'll each make our own case for why ours is the ride that's the best, and then have time to rebut one another, and then closing statements.
Yep.
So, would you like to start?
No, I would not.
Oh, no, I would. I need to find like a coin flip thing here. All right, I'll start with Finding Nemo and Friends. Well, Finding Nemo and Friends is based off of the movie Finding Nemo, which, as you know, is a Disney Pixar film and is much, much more recent. There's a good chance that at least the millennial among you has seen this movie. And as such, it's about fish. And as you go in there, the ride is based in Epcot, you'll find that the ride vehicle is a shell-based vehicle, which is the most superior version of that vehicle there, being that is the newer ride. And newer in the park of Epcot, I should say. And the music in there is great. There is lots of singing, lots of the soundtrack from Finding Nemo, which in my experience is some of the best wedding music you can go to, having been to a wedding that used Finding Nemo music, namely my interlocutor here's wedding.
Touche.
And seeing as that my interlocutor here had the best choice in music, I can say, number one, why you're going to like Finding Nemo, there's good music. Number two, as you go in, this is actually a legitimately cool thing. You see the mine birds, the seagulls, and they'll go, mine, 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 mine. That's actually a pretty cool thing. Number three, the shell vehicle there is, like I said it before, obviously superior to the other shell vehicles that could be found on the Walt Disney World property. Why? It's kind of self-explanatory. You're in a big shell. It closes in on itself, and you go on this track. Let's see. The next reason I could say is that the plot is not truncated so much that you don't know what the movie's about. You actually can get a good guess at what's happening in the film or what happened in the film. Let's see. Thirdly, you actually could see real animals. You see the real fish from the fish. I think I said thirdly twice, didn't I? See, that makes this extra good argument when you use thirdly twice. So thirdly, the third time, you see all the aquatic animals, including the fish, and that's what makes Finding Nemo one of the most excellent rides you can go on. Your turn.
Okay. Well, first, let's talk about how, truthfully, being a millennial, my wife also being a millennial, we both grew up on this thing called The Little Mermaid. And in case you didn't know this, it was released in 1989. And as we are all familiar with, some of the very best things in pop culture, and particularly in the movies, came out of the 80s, not so much out of the 2000s. So, I don't know. I think we could honestly have a debate on which one is the superior film, even though Finding Nemo is more recent, of course. But The Little Mermaid, I mean, it's a classic. It's out. We're talking a Disney Vault on moratorium movie. They release it once every 10 years, and for good reason, because people want it. People need it. People have to have it. And what better way to pay tribute to such a fine classic as to make a ride titled by one of the best songs in the movie, Under the Sea, which, by the way, this ride is newer than the the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's actually the newer and hence more advanced clamshell attraction of the two. And they have updated audio animatronics for it, where they came out with their new technology to put the coatings on these audio animatronics so it looks like the cartoon come to life, which is incredible. I mean, Seas of Nemo and Friends, it's great and all, but let's face it, most of those animatronics are just hard shell plastic, and you can tell. So at least you can actually see like joints moving and things like that over at Under the Sea. Secondly, it's the best way to do a ride under the water without actually having any water. They did a fantastic job with that, with the whole bubble effect as your clamshell descends gracefully under the sea. It does it so well, and you actually feel like you're there, you're in the movie, and progressing through it. You can, in fact, tell that it has a plot, despite what you insinuated. And there was another finer point to this. Trying to remember what it was that just really drove this attraction home for me. What was it? Well, I guess it wasn't important. But anyway, yeah, Under the Sea, definitely the more superior attraction, and yeah, don't really know that there's anything else that really needs to be said. But anyway, go ahead with your snooze fest of a counterpoint. I'm going to take a nap.
Well, traditionally, now that since I started and you went second, traditionally you then are permitted to rebut or ask questions of me having made my arguments. So would you like to do that, or would you rather not?
Well, is it true that the seagulls are really the most exciting part of that attraction? Because in the movie they're actually portrayed as more an annoyance.
It's true to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I went around in the gift shop and bought one of the Mine mugs as a result of said seagulls.
Oh, I just figured something out. Here's a little rebuttal to why your attraction is apparently the greatest. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and one of two things is broken. It's either the shark that's popping out of the submarine, or it's the lanternfish that's trying to eat marlin.
Is it broken, or is it so much just experiencing technical rest?
Oh, it's broken. It's broken. Yeah, I go on Under the Sea. It's always functioning every time.
Okay. Any other questions you have for me?
No, I don't think so.
Are those your closing rebuttal remarks? Your stuff's broken. those.
Your stuff's broken. My stuff works. Yeah.
All right. Well, my first question would be, as somebody who got married, when you picked that Finding Nemo music, what compelled you to pick it?
Well, we picked it for the dining portion, and because we had a very beachy themed wedding, we figured that people would be a little bit more relaxed with the music from Finding Nemo as opposed to the upbeat music of The Little Mermaid.
So would you say when you go on Little Finding Nemo, you feel relaxed, but also at the same time inwardly romantic towards your wife?
No, I feel like I want to take a nap, actually. So.
Did you feel like you wanted to take a nap on the day of your wedding then?
No. I was enjoying a good meal when we were listening to that music. Weren't you listening?
So my question would be, doesn't it make you reminisce of such a great event?
Yeah, okay. I guess I could say that yes, it does make me somewhat does take me back a little bit. Yeah.
And see, that's what it's about. It's the taking you back. Hey, by the way, what happened to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
What do you mean? What happened to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Where did it go in Walt Disney World Resort?
Well, part of it is they filled it in with concrete and the Magic Kingdom, and they replaced it with really kind of two attractions in a way. Part of it is Winnie the Pooh, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and the other one is Under the Sea. Kind of takes up a little bit of that real estate as well.
Who was the one who invented the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Who was the one who had that idea in the first place? In the park?
That would have to be... I don't really know. I mean, because Walt Disney World... I don't know who had it. Probably one of the Imagineers.
Yeah, it was approved by Walt. That's the point I'm getting to.
Well, so, the original attraction was approved by Walt. Let's face it. Walt didn't really give them as much guidance on the first theme park that was going to be at Walt Disney World. He had big dreams for Epcot, not the Epcot as we know it today. The experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow. That's what he was all about. He did have a theme park plan, but we can't say that it was designed to be a copy of Disneyland. So. Yeah, well, your argument, your point that you're headed toward here is moot.
I rest my case. It's both Walt approved and my best friend approved. I don't need more than that to show you why I think that Finding Nemo is the more superior ride between the two.
So how does saying that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea being approved by Walt, even if by a chain of events that he had no control over, how does that make the season Nemo and Friends a better attraction?
Because they ripped it out to replace it with both the Winnie the Pooh and Under the Sea. That's why they replaced the Walt thing with the new thing, and those are my arguments, and that's all.
Well, they replaced Epcot with the original design for Epcot with a theme park. So, haha.
I mean, I get that as an argument, but that's actually a legitimate thing that people are like, why do you do that? But so those are my arguments. Those are the two big ones that are my rebuttals against you. Your personal taste and Walt's personal taste.
Okay.
You should be flattered. I'm comparing your taste to Walt here.
Okay. Well, anyway. Listeners, please feel free to comment on this video which side that you have chosen in this battle. Either it be the light side of Under the Sea or the dark side of the season Nemo and Friends. Either way, please feel free to comment which side you think is better on this podcast. Thank you.
Remember, all true fans love Finding Nemo.
He'll listen to you. He's manipulating you. He's really good at it, too.
I've only gotten you to buy a bunch of things.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's enough of Pass the Parlay. I'll tell you this. I've fallen asleep on both those rides.
I've only fallen asleep on one.
I noticed you didn't say which.
It was the Seas with Nemo and Friends.
I'm like, no, yeah, I don't discriminate. I mean, I've almost fallen asleep. This is a really weird one. I've almost fallen asleep on Space Mountain. I was like tired. We were out there we're all there all day, like one of those days. And I'm just like trying to keep my eyes open. And I tell you, I think the left side is slower than the right side, or not as fun as the right side.
Yeah, that's a Pass the Parlay for another time.
Oh man, which track is better at Space Mountain? Ooh, that is such the Pass the Parlay.
That one might be a little bit too serious.
Yeah. We both have to like literally go and be like, can we use the other track? Can we now use the other track?
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for this episode of Mickey's Earbuds. Please don't forget, if you enjoyed this podcast, to like and subscribe. And we are signing off for today, and hopefully we will talk to you again next week.
Take care, everybody.
See you real soon.